Ona, what do banks look for in a franchise?
Track record, proof of profitability and success, and we look for a franchise to be able to demonstrate the ability to grow successful franchisees.
Okay, and then so an individual comes to you. Do you look at the individual themselves or herself as well?
Absolutely. It's not sufficient for a franchise just to be successful. You need to be looking at someone who's prepared to put their time into the business, who is really going to work hard, and who realises that the success of their particular outlet will depend on their work in it.
So it's not success in a box?
Absolutely not success in a box.
Now, when you say proven track record, what does that mean? Does that mean proven track record of a year, 5 years, 10 years?
That's a very good question. What we would ideally like to see in a franchise network itself is that they have track record of developing a number of successful franchisee outlets, and that they themselves, even before that, would have built up good company outlets. So that takes a number of years before they get to that stage. Typically, if someone is looking at buying a franchise, you'd expect to see, audited accounts for a couple of years for the business itself and for some of their other franchisees. So that takes 2 to 3 years.
And because I asked this question before, the recession has sort of probably impacted on franchises, and a lot of franchise concepts were proven in a boom period. Does that have an impact on how you look on franchise concepts in the context of the recession?
Let's take it away from franchising a bit there. It's how do we look at business concepts? If a business concept would work during a recession, it'll work whether it's a franchise or whether it's a non-franchise business. If it's something where it's a concept that is very much dependent on disposable income, people making disposable choices, well then it's going to probably be a bit more difficult in a recession.
Okay, let me rephrase that. If a franchise concept has proven itself in the last 5 years, does that, in completely different economic circumstances, does that mean that franchise would still be deemed to be suitable for the current market conditions?
It could be. Some franchises may not be, because if they are selling very luxurious goods or whatever, it might be harder to make the sales for that particular business. However, if you look at some of the franchises that have come in the last few years, it's been things like outsourced business services. If anything, you'd be seeing more demand for that as businesses are looking at taking cost off their balance sheet. You'd be looking at things like the broad range of services that are there for senior care at home. The recession isn't going to make that go away. That demand is still going to be there. And as people's mindset changes, that demand is going to be there. However, if you're looking at something very niche-y and that really requires a high income, that's probably going to be a little bit under threat during a recession.